So today we are working in Google Sheets. So in Canvas, you pulled up this Vitruvian data. And what we did was I made a data table with where we typed in our initials for each student in that class period. We went and measured height in centimeters. People typed in their data there. Arm length in centimeters, typed in the data. So we did this for each and every class period, and then I locked it so the data is secure so that nobody can manipulate that since we've now completed that sheet. So what you're going to be doing with that data table is I want to see that you can make an appropriate graph with that information. And so just giving you some familiarity with Google Sheets. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting our cursor up here in A1 cell. So that's column A, row 1. So A1. And you're going to hold your mouse down, highlight all the way to the last initials of that class period, and then all the way over here to this last bit of data. So all of this information we're going to be needing access to. So I've highlighted that, so I'm going to hold the Control-C down to copy that information. So Control-C. I'm going to go to File, New. I'm going to make a new, entirely new spreadsheet that's going to be all my own. So here's my new spreadsheet. It's untitled. Let's just call it the Vitruvian data. So on A1, I'm going to put my cursor again. Now I'm going to hit, instead of Control-C, I'm going to use Control-V to paste that data. Now that my columns, I can double click to make my columns a little bit wider so all the information is visible. Double click so it gets all of it. There we go. So what's nice is all of this is ready to be highlighted again, so I can then now make a sheet. But I want to first change the name of my first sheet. I click on this drop down under Sheet 1, rename. I'm going to call this Data Table. Spell that correctly. All right, oops. Highlight it again. So it's all highlighted. So now I want to go up here to the top and go under Insert, go down to Insert Chart. Now the nice thing about this is that it recognizes what kind of chart might be appropriate with this data. And so we're showing the relationship between height. Is there a relationship between height and arm length? Obviously, this student we might want to remeasure because the dots are way far apart, but arm length and arm span and height for this student are very, very close. Same with this student. So that's why a scatter chart is working here. And this is the kind of graph we want to make. If it doesn't come up as a scatter chart, you might need to come over here and scroll down through the different charts underneath pie graph and select scatter. Now, a few students had some other issues where they only saw one color dot. So again, in this setup menu, scroll down a little bit and make sure if it says use column B as labels, uncheck that. Then you should see all of the blue and the red dots. So hopefully all of us are at the same, and your screen is looking just like my screen. Now the next thing I want to do is I hate having the chart or the graph on top of my data table, so I'm going to click these three dots in the upper right hand corner, and I'm going to move to its very own sheet. Nice and pretty, and nice and big. I can see everybody's initials. So now this chart 1, same thing, I'm going to rename it. I'm going to call it scatter plot. All right, so there's a few things I just want to give us some familiarity with how to make some changes for titles for your graph, or maybe labels that we need on the vertical axis. So up here where it says Edit Chart, we're going to customize this. We're going to select the chart and axis titles. So I'm going to say, what class period am I dealing with? Is, I can't remember. I'll just say second period, truly Vitruvian. So as soon as I type my title of our question that we're researching here in class, it comes up here at the top in the title bar. Now my vertical axis, right now all I have is numbers. I need to have some units. So my vertical axis, again, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to select under number format. I'm going to customize that, and I'm going to type cm. So 100 centimeters, 150 centimeters. All right, so all of those things should be what you are able to accomplish even if you were not in class today. This data table is in Canvas for you to access and then make your own new sheet and make your own scatter plot. I hope this was helpful.